Likud Member of Parliament Danny Danon, thanks for joining us. What is your reactions to the scenes of protest and in some areas even near chaos that we are seeing in the streets of Israel today?
Well, I think what we are seeing is unacceptable. I respect the rights of every individual to demonstrate. We are very proud of our democracy, but you have limits. And when someone is trying to block the streets or to attack our police force, that's unacceptable. And I call Yair Lapid and other leaders of the left to condemn those acts of violence. It is okay to protest. You know, we even appreciate those people who go out of their homes in order to make a point. But it is unacceptable to see what we have seen today. We have the majority. We intend to continue with the legislation. But at the same time, I said it very clearly, we also are willing to negotiate, to speak about those issues. And I hope we will be able to do that here in the parliament, to have a proper discussion between the different groups and parties. We are not happy with what we are seeing on the streets.
How do you react to the calls from the opposition for a halt or at least a temporary freeze in the legislative process while negotiations go on over the judicial reforms?
Well, I don't think that most of the opposition leaders genuinely want to have any kind of negotiations. I think they fell in love in the position of going to the streets and having those rallies outside of the Knesset. If they want to have a discussion, let's do it now. You know, now we are not in session today anymore. We are not going to have any legislation in the next few days because of the holiday of Purim. So let's sit down for a week and have a proper discussion. I'm afraid it's not going to happen because they don't really want to have an honest discussion.
Now, one of the laws being advanced would shield the prime minister from being disqualified by the courts. How do you respond to those who say this whole process is being carried out to protect Netanyahu from the legal process?
Well, I think the only legal way to remove a prime minister from his office in Israel is by going to proper elections and that the people will vote him down. It is unacceptable to even have a discussion about getting him out of office in a legal maneuver. I don't think we should even consider that. And I think the legislation we just passed makes it very clear that only in a very, very unique situation where the prime minister is mentally or physically not capable to perform his duties as prime minister, he can be removed. But not that, you know, some lawyers or legal advisors will decide about that.
Criticism of the judicial overhaul is also being expressed abroad from allies like the U.S., in Europe, in the global financial markets. How do you respond to all of that?
We respect our friends and allies, and we take into considerations their requests and concerns. But at the end of the day, we are a democracy. At the end of the day, we decide about who is voting here, and the Knesset is the only organ that can decide about legislation. And I call my colleagues from all around the world to respect our democracy.
Now, several top military figures, including former chiefs of the IDF, have condemned the judicial changes. Some reservists are saying now that they may not even report for service in protest. Are you concerned that this political debate could impact on the military?
No, so I tell my colleagues from the opposition, leave our boys and girls from the IDF out of politics. We have one army the Tzahal, the IDF, that protects us all. Let's keep them out of the political debate. When you wear the uniform, you put your politics aside. And that's what happened in the past. That should happen also in the future.
Likud MK Danny Danon, thank you for joining us on i24 News.
Thank you very much.